And we are back with the Blame Girl podcast with
Mr. Terry Wayne.
And we got Jackie Sanchez in the house. Welcome, Jackie.
Hi.
I'll do your intro later, just in case you're wondering, because I know.
Okay. Yeah, I was.
Jackie, how was your weekend?
All right, that's strike one.
How was your weekend, Jackie?
It was pretty good. I saw Anthony Jeselnik on Friday.
Oh, you went?
Yeah, I went. It was very good. He is
show.
very funny. Lisa Correa was great. Brian was fun. Brian was a little tipsy, but he was fun. It was a killer show. It was packed, so it was nice.
Yeah. Nice. So which night did you say you went?
Friday night late show.
Okay. Nice. That's all you did? What did you do Saturday?
I had my mom back and forth to Homestead. Both my grandparents are ill, so I had to drive her. So that was what I did.
Yeah, you were telling me about that last week when I saw you. How's Grandpa?
Okay? He's good now. He's out. He's kicking. Grandma not so much, but he's kicking, so that's good.
All right.
Terry,
how was your weekend?
I am genuinely sorry to hear about that.
How was your weekend, Terry?
My weekend sucked. I was supposed to go to Punta Gorda with you and Sita and Mark and Joanna, and I had a anxiety attack for some reason and had to bail, and it bummed me out. But
I'm glad you publicly talked about that.
I mean, it doesn't bother me. I don't care. I wish it didn't happen.
You were embarrassed, and you shouldn't be.
Well, it's embarrassing in the moment. You feel bad about it, because you feel like you're letting people down for whatever reason. But then that only adds to it, and it just makes it worse. But for me, the mental ones I got over a long time ago. I learned how to get around the mental ones a long time ago. It's just the physical ones when that adrenaline hits and your blood pressure and your pulse goes up crazy and you just feel like you're going to jump out of your skin. Those are the ones that kill me. But yeah.
You know who gives me a panic attack is Jason Pellish.
Why is that? Is he on already?
No, I'm just.
Is he already starting?
A little shout out to Jason. No. Y'all know what gives me panic attacks. I won't say it here. It's in my set. But so what did you do? What did you end up doing Saturday? Did you do anything Sunday?
Sunday I was preparing for a trip. Tomorrow I leave.
Now you going out of town? You couldn't go with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, what do
you?
No, it's funny you mentioned that because it has me worried. Because driving up to Mobile is a lot farther than Punta Gorda. So
why are you going to Mobile?
It does. I have front row tickets to see Louis C.K. And he doesn't come to Florida, so it was a Christmas present.
Why doesn't he come to Florida?
Because he hates Florida.
I live here and I don't care for it. I love it's beautiful. So, okay. So,
but yeah, so do that, and then New Orleans is a 2-hour drive from there. So
that's right. You did.
Gonna watch the show and then go over to New Orleans for a couple of days. So,
well, I'm sure. Also, like the trip this weekend, it was a packed car. So I'm sure that probably made you a little anxious. It's weird because Joanna, she was the driver, and she's told me before, like, she didn't want to ride with me, you, and Miranda because it's too many people in the car. But I mean, what was it? It was 4 of us without you. It would have been 5 of us with you. That would have been really tight. And I'm sure that would have just made it a lot worse. So.
Probably. I probably would have rained all over you good time. So I'm glad that everything worked out, but still a bummer. But
just get ready for Orlando. Just be ready. Don't do this again, please.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, because if it doesn't happen often, but when they happen, it's pretty bad. But it's whatever.
All right. So my weekend, in case y'all were wondering, I know
nobody cares. Nobody's ever cared, not once.
So my weekend was pretty cool.
It's a running gag.
Shut the fuck up, Terry. It's my turn to talk.
It's a running gag.
And what'd you do, Blame Girl?
I went to my girl Izzy Lazikas. She's a newer comic. We'll have to get her on, Terry. I really enjoy her. It was her birthday. She did an open mic at the Peach, and I definitely went to that. And then I'd gone to Abby Ballin's pop off last month, and I won apparently because there's a contest at the open mic. So I was booked this month, so I went down there. And I got to perform with another Blamey. We'll have to have her on too, Terry. She's a drag queen. And
wouldn't be our first.
I think she's maybe a conservative, maybe a Trump supporter, but
that would be amazing. I would love to talk to a conservative, right-wing
drag queen.
Drag queen. That'd be amazing.
I'll shoot you her info. So that was a good connection. And then on Saturday, the trip to Punta Gorda dominated the day. Like I had to Sita's like, pick me up by 2:30. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be there at 2:45. You know it, right?
Yeah.
And then
that's why he said 2:30, so that you'd be there by 2:45.
Yeah. So, he said 2:20, so I was there by 2:30, and it worked. But so I put him and Mark up. We went to Johanna's, and then we headed on to Punta Gorda. We performed at the Sun and Shade Resort, and it was so much fun. You missed it, I gotta say, Terry. It was a lot of fun.
I know, it looked like a fun time. It looked like a good crowd. Trust me, I was watching all that shit, and I was like, God damn it, But I refuse to give in to this.
No, don't feel bad. I'm just saying it was fun. You did miss a lot.
I know. I saw the moonshine cherries. Yeah. Yes, I heard all about Joanna's drunkenness. We'll say, leave it at that.
Joanna had a lot of fun. I mean, it was the cherries. All right, and then Sunday it was just chores. Basically, I started braiding my hair. As y'all can see, I'm going to Texas this week, so that's where I'll be doing the show next week. By the way, Terry,
it was very ladylike. By the way,
I know.
Yeah, no, I
start live, and I just burped.
I'll be getting back in probably late Saturday night, so I'll be back in plenty of time.
Are you two ready to do some blaming?
Yes,
I've been waiting for a long time to do some blaming.
I've been waiting longer, actually.
Okay, this is not a blame competition. BlameGirl always wins at the blame, just FYI. Okay, so Cash Me Outside, we're familiar with her from Dr. Phil. Well, Cash Me Outside is complaining about where she got her cash. And yes, I know it's Catch Me Outside, but her name's Cash Me Outside. So she's complaining about where she made all her cash, and that is OnlyFans. She says that the men that subscribed and paid her should be put in jail because they're pedophiles. Who's to blame?
How old was
she? 18.
Well, that's by definition not a pedophile.
Yeah, but still creepy.
It's not a pedophile when they're teenagers, because that's called something like a feeble-phile.
Yeah, that's
if we being
pedophile refers to prepubescent, where people are attracted to prepubescents.
Nonetheless,
I've been saying this shit for years. Like, you take any average man and he looks at a 17-year-old hot cheerleader on Instagram. He's like, "No, she's gross, but in 2 years she'll be hot." Like, that's just bullshit we tell each other.
Yeah,
I mean, that's ridiculous.
Like,
we all draw a little creeper to me.
Be like checking out girls that are too young, I think, sometimes, but it's like hard to tell because when you are we all develop at different ages, and some girls look older. Like, I had huge boobs in 6th grade. It was crazy.
Quit bragging.
Yeah.
I'll stop. They were huge.
I had a joke. Never mind. Fuck it.
So, okay. She made over $1 million in subscribers within the first 6 hours of her OnlyFans launch.
She posted it and she's mad? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. She posted it and she's mad.
Well, but why is she mad? Because, like, from what I've heard, there's not a lot of graphic material on there. There's not a whole lot of nudity on her.
Oh, he's on there.
No, I'm not. I don't. I am.
He was one of the.
From what I've heard, there's no vagina at all.
No. I found this very surprising that she made all that money without it. And that's first of all. Second of all, as I have said many times on this podcast, I do not pay for porn. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's my neighbor. I'm not paying for porn, period.
I'm sure it was free somewhere.
Well, whatever. I don't care. Besides, I don't really follow trash. So
she turns 20 in March, and she has a 9,200 square foot mansion in Boca worth $6.1 million. And
she got more than that. She bought 3 mansions down here on the same street.
This bitch. And then has the nerve to bite the hand that feeds her. I'm just really,
I know.
I'm annoyed because, like, I wish
you give me $50 million. I will show you the inside of my.
I've been able to pay for college.
I mean, seriously, like how ungrateful can one person be?
Jackie,
like it really blows my mind.
Jackie Sanchez, what do you think about this?
About her being upset about being rich?
Yeah, like, who's to blame for this? Is it her? Is it the guys?
It's her. She posted it. No one would have been jerking off to it if she didn't post it in the first place. It's 100% her fault. If they leaked it, would have been different, and then I could be like on board. But if you shared it and now suddenly because you follow Christ or whatever you decide, that it's stupid.
Oh, is she following Christ?
Well, but see, that's
I think
that's why I brought up the whole no graphic material thing. Like, how can you call somebody a pedophile for paying to follow you and you're not even posting anything graphic? Like, what,
this bitch found Christ.
How's that make it? Is it the DMs that got to her?
Go ahead.
Probably.
No, that was it. I'm just saying, what are you so pissed off about?
I'm just so baffled by the fact that if she did find Christ, like, y'all remember why she got the name Catch Me Outside? Remember how she didn't find Christ?
Yeah, she, like, beating the shit out of her mother.
Conveniently found it after you made $42 million on OnlyFans? Like, girl.
Better than prison, I guess. That's where everybody normally finds them.
Yeah, right.
Jesus must be locked up because everybody's finding him in jail.
I just can't with this. I mean, she's barely legal, but she is legal. Like, we have that arbitrary age for a reason. And yes, you know what? It's only 18 in some states. Some states it's 17. And I believe in some states in America it's 16, and in the UK it's 16. So
it is. It's actually 16. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's 16 in Florida, but the parents have to sign off on it. I'm
okay with it being 16 because I remember how fast I was at 16. I wouldn't have gone for an older man unless I wanted to, and I didn't. I didn't go for
I would have, but I don't think they should have touched me.
We don't get into that Cash Me Outside. Hold that thought.
Yeah.
I remember the teacher's name. But I won't say it. But no, I mean,
I see John Levine. He's in our chat, and he says Terry equal busted. I wonder what he's talking about. Busted. You think Terry going to jail because he went to her OnlyFans?
I think because of my comment on him knowing or not knowing that her vagina wasn't on the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm just going off what I read because I was shocked. I was shocked when I heard that. I was shocked that she made that much money without having to post all the graphic shit.
I was jealous. I was told.
To me, that's bananas.
It was probably a one-time thing when they subscribe, and then I don't know that it's a long-term that she's going to keep making money. I think they all paid thinking they're going to see nipples, whatever, and then they were like, "Oh, I'm not going to see it," and now they're probably unsubscribed.
Jackie, John says yes, you had it right. I think.
Well, but not to mention.
So wait, she hasn't posted any vagina, and I haven't even made $1 million.
BlameGirl.
Well,
she's blaming, okay.
But Gio's right. I got more money. There's no shame in my game. And that you say arbitrary, but 18 is like when you're supposed to be an adult. So we all got together and made a rule We said this is the acceptable thing.
You're
And
usually out of high school or getting out of high school. And I think that's
right. Well, you're beginning your life. That's it. And yes, I know it can be quite creepy. And yes, I have hooked up with an 18-year-old when I was 35. But don't set the markers of the field. And then when I go along the edge of them, you're going to call, you're going to say, oh, that's wrong. It's like you put those there.
No, I agree. And it's not even like I like young men. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to date an 18-year-old, but
yeah, but there's a huge double standard.
Date them if they want to.
An 18-year-old is a child. It's a tough.
There's a
child.
huge double standard. Yeah, but if a 35-year-old woman, like, a 35-year-old woman hooks up with an 18-year-old kid, an 18-year-old guy, people go, "Oh, she's a cougar. Oh, she's getting her groove back." Fuck you, you know. And not to mention,
groomer. They don't say you're groomer, but you know what? I will say this: there is a sect of women that do that, especially in the Black community. I've seen it. They'll be like calling out older Black women for hitting on those young boys, and they are groomers.
Well, not to mention when all this was,
they're grown, you know.
Well, when all this was going down, I called my sister, who's militant, thinks she's militant feminist, but she's not. But she thinks she is. And I said,
not Trinity.
I said, am I doing something wrong?
Yeah.
I said, am I doing something wrong here? And surprisingly, one of the biggest gasps of our entire relationship between me and my sister was she said, no, you're not doing anything wrong. But just don't get attached because you're a phase. She's like, we all go through it. Every girl goes through it. She said, I went through it. She mentioned some people from her past. And I was like, oh, yeah, there was that guy, and blah, blah, blah. She's like,
yeah,
but I'm sure Jackie can speak onto that more than I can. But no, like she said, just don't get attached. She's like, most likely it's just a phase.
Speaking of getting attached, presidents seem to get attached to documents when they're in office. And now we have found out that Joe Biden has taken classified documents to his home. Who's to blame? Like, is this another Trump incident? What do you guys think about this?
Well, Jackie's very political. What's your position on this?
Incredibly political. I was informed on the situation before this because I did not know what you were talking about when you sent me the email. I had no idea this happened. But it sounds like if they've got found and we're like, go back. It sounds like no foul play. I think that Biden is okay. He's just an old kooky guy who maybe, brought the wrong suitcase home, perhaps. It happens.
No, okay. This is the way it actually happens. Every president does this. Every single president. Bush did this. Clinton did this. Every single president, because they work from multiple locations all the time, especially a vice president, because they don't get all the posh accoutrement all the time like the president does. Trump wasn't a problem because he took those documents. Every president does this, either intentionally or accidentally. The problem was, when the National Archives came to Trump and said, you have to give these back, he said no and fought them for almost a year. That's why the FBI had to get a search warrant and go into his place and physically take them themselves. But as soon as Biden's team found them, not only did they report them and return them, but they came clean and said, hey, we didn't even know these were here. And these weren't top secret, nuclear secrets on our enemies and allies.
Yeah. And, another thing is like, he's not showing them around to his friends at Mar-a-Lago. He just had them. Like,
yeah, wow.
He did have them near his, John says, spot on, Terrence. Where is our boo Jason? I'm like, I can't believe
I don't know.
Okay.
I love that John's here, though. John's one of my favorite people in the whole wide world.
John's here, too. I just think it's a little different, but he did say that they were locked in with his Ferrari or something like that. And
no, his Corvette. He has a classic Corvette, which, by the way, just
all over that shit. Like,
they should love him for having a classic Corvette and not like an EV. It's like, I'm out here burning gas.
That he took these documents?
What's that? I didn't hear what
Think
you
it
said.
was intentional that he took these documents?
No, I don't think so. Because they're not even the, yeah, they're classified, but they're not the flashy type. They're not something you would,
I mean,
and plus if
a lot of bullshit too. Let's be honest.
Well, the only reason this is even a story is because of Trump's thing. Trump had it, had a situation with them. But again, it's because he refused to return them, not the fact that he had them,
Yeah, he definitely acted like an asshole when it came to like collecting.
Yeah. Well, that's what law enforcement and the Department of Justice, they really love that. When you flaunt your authority over them, it's like any other cop. They're going to get fucking pissed and have to flex their muscles.
Speaking of law enforcement flexing their muscles,
how the fuck is this a segue?
Your hometown or your home state, after a Girls Gone Wild style party, 5 officers were fired and 3 were suspended for sexual misconduct. Who's to blame? And most importantly, I want to focus, like, everybody's on the girl's ass about it, but it was a bunch of guys. Why is it like this, guys? Jackie, you go first. We've heard from Terry a little bit.
Do we know what they were like accused of? I didn't read that article.
They ran a train on the
They ran a train? The cops?
Yeah. Yeah, they ran a train on another cop.
Oh. Yeah. I mean,
it's a Girls Gone Wild party. Like,
hey man, if it was consensual, no one's to blame.
I was gonna say, I guess if she said
are you slut shaming her, Gio?
I'm not.
I think
go ahead.
I think if she wanted it, it's okay, but I'm sure it wasn't her idea. I don't think she was like, it would be fine if all of you fucked me. Like, I don't know that was, but maybe it was.
I don't know. Like,
there's some freaks in these streets.
Her husband's standing by her side, so like,
there's some freaks in these streets. Like
they were just swinging, and then they got put on blast, and they got morality clause. That's what I think is to blame personally. I think sometimes when your workplaces like teach or you're a police officer, you have morality clauses and you can't even be on OnlyFans. So
wow.
Well, let's not even get into the damn teachers.
How unfair. What do you think, Terry?
I think as long as it's consensual and you're consenting adults, hey, let your freak flag fly, you know what I mean? Like, just because you're a cop, doesn't mean you don't have a social life. So I mean, it ain't my jam, but I'm not gonna stand on my soapbox and tell you you're wrong.
You do some non-traditional relationship stuff. It's not like you're just straight and narrow, right?
Well, just come out and say it. Yeah, I've had some threesomes, but again, consenting adults, who gives a shit?
That's what I agree.
I don't care.
I think, and you know what I really want to say about this is, cops, they're already well fucking tight. Let them fucking have orgy parties if that's what they need to do.
Hell yeah.
Whatever stops you from shooting unarmed people would be great. Whatever keeps that shit from happening, The
slut shaming, I think it has been happening because all the memes I see are directed at the woman. I've made a meme. If you follow me, BlameGirl, you will see that I'm trying to bring a little equality to the game. I made a meme for the dudes. They were a part of this. They were a part of running this train on this girl. John Levine says choo choo. And that, I gotta say this. The craziest thing happened to me at Pop Off. These 4, maybe 5 white guys going to a We Gay concert, a white reggae concert, asked me if they could run a train. Yeah.
It's all love, brother.
Lucky. What'd you say?
Said no. I'm too old. If you would have asked me 20 years ago, I would have probably considered it and told you off, but no.
She'd
Well,
have
I mean,
been
look
down.
at that. That's a lot of guys that want to have sex with you, Gio. Way to go.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
was like, I still got it a little bit,
That's
right?
pretty good, huh? Yeah.
Some of them were younger than me too.
Hell
Were
yeah.
hot. I was like, what?
2 were hot. Nice.
And I gotta say, the way no, it was like at least 3 out of 5 of them were hot. So
What?
I did say, like, so I was walking by and I was like, they were like, can we borrow your cigarette? And I was like, I mean, your lighter. And I was like, yeah. And then I saw him light a joint and I was like, yes, I will take some of your joint. And so I hit, and then I was like, let's get over here so we can stay warm. And then they asked me if, and I was like, damn, did I make that happen? Or like, did they, I just give off some strong hoe energy, I guess, you know?
You're beautiful.
But you don't just be asking beautiful girls to run trains. I don't know you treat girls. Like,
I mean, you said it, not me. Like
I give off
you,
some hoe energy.
you ask girls to run trains who you think might say yes to running a train.
Oh, blame girl. Who's to blame, huh?
Yeah.
You're to blame.
So hoe.
You're putting that hoe vibe.
Police
out.
department is all I can say because I would have been like, no. All right.
That's
So
gross.
Hey, listen, whatever stops them from, like I said, whatever stops them from shooting unarmed people and setting folks up and planting evidence and lying depositions, you know.
don't let them date a 20-year-old because people will be triggered. Okay.
They will.
Younger women dating older men really triggers people. And I bring this up because Chris Evans, he is dating a 20-year-old woman and the internet is upset about it. And I think that I don't understand why it's triggering. Is it legal to date younger people or is it not? Because you can't act like everyone is a groomer, everyone's a pervert, you know, if they date someone younger than them. What do you guys think?
Gosh, well, as a professional, I would say it definitely, there's, I think, a flip as I'm getting older, which sounds gross to say, but as I'm getting older, my opinions are changing for sure, though. Thinking about how naive and like twisted my image of a lot of older dudes was, it was not an actual reality. Like it's partially a phase, but only it's a phase because eventually you want to date real people, I guess. I don't know. I think
Real people?
No, like it's a phase in a sense that I feel like a lot of older men take advantage of young girls for being naive and eventually you smarten up and you're not going to take the shit that the older men are going to put you through.
Do you think, like, what are you saying? Like, what kind of stuff do older men put you through specifically?
No, specifically, what kind of things do older
chill,
men?
Terry, I got this. Thank you.
Calm down. You're not even my oldest. You can relax. I think there's a lot of not belittling, but you want to be the one who's guiding, which is nice, but it can be really like, I know everything, you know nothing kind of, when I think there could be a really sweet approach on showing.
Jackie, let me just say they do that when you're the same age as them or older. So
that's true.
That's just men.
Men want to lead, man. It's in our genes.
But don't let them, because they'll lead you.
They lead the wrong way.
So you think, does it trigger you now, or do you think it's still okay for younger girls to like make their own mistakes and feel like, figure out?
Under 21, 22, I think no one over the age of 30 should go near. I think it's gross. I think they're not, there's a reason why like there's a cap at like 25 because the woman's brain is developed and it's completed maturing at that time. And then
cap at 25.
Well,
Leonardo DiCaprio.
There's an old adage that says,
you think Leo dates under 25 because their brain
25 is his cutoff, as it is a lot of older men.
He doesn't want their brain to develop.
To be smart enough to know like this guy's grooming me, I should leave. Like,
yeah, that is a piece of shit move.
Well,
but
there is
gonna leave you at 25. He's just enjoying you while you are learning.
In your prime, yeah.
There's a formula for this that I've heard that goes back, which is half your age plus 7. That's the minimum age that you should be dating is half your age plus 7.
So,
Which at the time, because if you don't know, me and Jackie used to be a thing. And I met you when you were how old?
22.
22, right. But who pursued who?
Terry.
Really?
Really?
Very much mutual. Also doesn't need to be talked about.
Okay,
in either way, and I feel it was creepy, and I kind of think it was a little much. You were a little old. I was very young and stupid.
That's hurt. But I don't think so.
You asked.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, hey, it's fine.
But isn't it weird to see how, like, once a woman does mature, how she might view the relationship before?
Yeah, later on, she will realize,
I like how, okay, first of all, there was no creepiness here. Like, I put a ring on it. But what I'm saying is, why is it always a creepy old man? Why is it always a creepy old man? Why are you not a creepy young girl?
I was.
You know what I mean?
I say that all the time.
No, seriously. Why can't you be a creepy young girl who's just into these old guys? Why is it always on the dude?
I say it. I own it. I say it on stage. I'm very open with it. I own that. I definitely would approach older men, but at the same time, I'm approached a lot more by older men than I approach them.
Yeah, no, as a girl, that definitely happens. I gotta say, like,
I might be a little defensive on this particular issue.
Let me get in this discussion. It ain't just Jackie and Terry on this. So when I was like, men are creepy, right? I distinctly remember being 13. Remember, I had moved already. Older guy. I'm in the mall. He's like, "Ooh, young girl, you look good though." And I was like, "Ew." They're hitting on you as soon as you develop, right? But to try to have a relationship, when is it too old? When I was 17, I had a 23-year-old I dated. He scared me. So I stopped dating him. And that was the end of it. You know what I'm saying? And then ever since then, my tendency, I like guys that are my age, but I get a lot of younger guys hitting on me. And I will date them. But I'm not dating someone that's, 20. I'm 43 now. I'm not going to 20. I'm not going to 21. I might hit a 28 or 29 if he seems mature enough, but I don't think I'd date him. I think I would just have fun with him, I don't know that mentally you're on the same page or you want the same things in life at that time. And I think often women, they think that they want that because they want men so bad when you're young. That's kind of how you're groomed. And then you're willing to do all this stuff to keep this relationship. And then you're in this relationship and you're like, I don't want this. And it's too late. You're married, you have a kid, and you're stuck. So.
Well, yeah, but I mean, women, especially when they're younger, they can put themselves into a position where they don't understand the choices they're making. You know what I mean? You can be an older man saying, I'm not looking for a girlfriend, I'm looking for a wife. And then the younger person could say, oh, well, I can be a wife. And it's like, can you? Like, is that really what you want?
But I think it's a learning experience for everybody. I think it's a learning experience for the older person to see, like, oh, maybe I need to go a little bit higher so that I have more relatable things with the person I'm trying to date. Or, the younger woman, she's like, maybe I need to hold off. I'm not ready for this yet. So anyway, I want to move on. I want to get into interviewing our guest, who is one of my favorite people on the scene, one of my closest friends on the scene. And you may know her from Jacked Up. She puts on a lot of comedy shows here at the Improvs in Florida. And she won
Ultimate Miami Comedian.
Ultimate Miami.
It's okay. I can be the extreme comedian from Miami or whatever you were going to say. It's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
No. I just didn't want to fuck it up. So I stopped and I was like,
yeah, it's a big title. Can't
get it right.
Yeah, you gotta Wikipedia.
I kept wanting to be like Florida's, but it's Miami's.
Yeah. Nope,
I was gonna get it wrong, so I'm glad you.
Well, she was a Florida's Funniest final contestant as well.
Yes. Nonetheless, I'm excited to have you on the podcast. You're one of my favorite people. I remembered you before I started comedy, and when I got in, I was like, "Oh my God, I remember her." So
Wow.
welcome back to the show. It's your second time you were on it when we had.
I'm excited you're here too.
Thank
and
you.
in case you guys
haven't talked in so
realized
long.
it, these two have a past, but we're moved on and we're all colleagues now. We're all
it's fine.
Yeah, it is fine. So that's why we're having Jackie on. I'm gonna ask her some comedy questions. Like, tell us, Jackie, how long have you been doing comedy?
Now I'm like at 6.5 years, I guess.
Yeah. How did you get started?
Ramon Garcia. I took his class at the Palm Beach Improv in 2016, and then I fell in love, and I just kept doing it.
What was that like? That's kind of how I got started too.
Yeah, it was great. I think the class gives you like the training wheels you didn't know you could get before trying it. I think it was, I don't know if I had it, else I would have gotten into stand-up. I didn't know open mics or anything existed. So I was happy to have like guidance in the class and people tell me what to do and everything. So it was super helpful. I love the class. I'm very supportive. I still go all the time just to help with my writing every now and then, because Ramon is really so good with that. He just helps you get ideas out of nothing. So I highly recommend, if anyone wants to get into it, take that class.
I'm glad you bring that up, because I mean, a lot of comics that do comedy that didn't take classes, they'll shit on people who did take classes or classes generally. Yeah. And I think everybody's path into the world is different, because like you, I would have never known about open mics if I had not have taken that class, you know. Yeah. And it gives you that extra little boost you need to get on that stage, and you're on the improv stage right away, even though you kind of like pay for it, but
that's the work.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't matter. You're all trying to get to the same destination. So if you're taking one road, somebody else is taking another. It doesn't matter. As long as you get there, that's what matters. I feel like you were talking to me because I didn't take the class, but I didn't take the class because I met Will Watkins, who was already established at the time, at a show.
How did you meet Will?
I met him at a show. I went to the Improv. He was hosting. And at the end of the show, everybody was talking to the headliner. Everybody wanted pictures talking to the headliner. And then I saw him standing over there by himself. And I was like, I should talk to this guy. And he's the one that he's like, you can take the class. He's like, I teach it. And he's like, you can take it if you want.
Did you take it?
He's like, no, because he said, or you can just go out to one of these open mics. And he gave me a couple, and he's like, just write 5 minutes and do that. And I said, how much is the class? And he goes, $250. And I said, I'm just going to go over here.
Yeah, it's not for like, but nonetheless, Jackie, how, since you've been doing this, what has become your favorite venue to perform at? And you can't say
the Improvs. It's too easy.
What do you mean too easy?
Everybody would say it if we let the Improvs in. We figured that out like by week 3.
You pretty much enjoy performing at the Improv. So.
Yeah, give me a B room.
There's not many anymore.
Well, it doesn't have to still exist.
It doesn't have to exist anymore.
Many people have said Robot or Buddha.
Robot was the best open mic for sure. As far as like, I'm trying to think of like good, no, because they still exist. I haven't been there in so long, but Villain Theater has always been one of my favorite venues. I've always had really fun sets there. I've received like really shitty news before a show there about like a friend dying, and had like the best set ever still after, and it made me like not want to fucking die and be sad. So it was really nice. That place is very special, I think. I just don't go there anymore. I don't go to Miami.
Well, I think what happens is like you're in it so long, like you create these connections with certain comics that are come and go, and then so now it's under a new regime, so it's not as easy to get down there and get booked, and you know. But I think Villain's one of my favorites also.
Oh yeah, for sure. That was we had the Wizard of Oz tour that went through there, and then I ended up headlining that show, And I've got a great fucking video from that. It's the last like long form video I have. So, and maybe we'll ever have. So I'm glad it was there. It was definitely a fun time.
So where have your travels taken you, Jackie?
Comedic travels.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry. We're still in the comedy questions.
I mean,
I know of one.
To be honest, not many. Really, I've had a lot of opportunities, but it was all before I was brave enough to travel. Now I love traveling and I want to keep doing it. So I'm definitely going to plan more things now. But I mean, I've performed in Atlanta and I've performed in LA and I've performed in Florida. That's it. I could have done a cool one in Texas. That's the one I'm bummed about. But
Did you like doing it outside of your home base? Just tell us about your experience. Your experience is yours. If you are, hesitant to go out of state, that's fine.
yeah, no, I mean, now I'm not anymore. I was before, but now I feel that I've left all of last year and everything and all the traveling. I feel way more confident about it. But yeah, I mean, I like it. I like learning that my comedy works in other places and that different, it was two really different kinds of places that I did it. So I liked the reactions that I got, and it let me know that a general audience, not just crazy Floridians, would like me.
I just want to take a second and read some of John Levine's comments. He said that he's so glad he turned in for this, and your twin, she said same. And John is,
hey Alex, what's happening?
John is also a Will Watkins class graduate, and he said Marina 84 was one of his best venues down here. So I just
That's like the
Marina 84 was a nightmare. What are you talking about? It was
maybe he's cracking jokes.
It was the swamp of the South.
You know it, Jackie?
It is.
Yeah, I never went. I heard it was terrible, so I never went.
Well, it's terrible in the swampy kind of swamp grass way, but it's fun at the same time. That's the only place I've ever threatened anybody with a steak knife was at Marina 84.
All right. I'm sorry, Jackie, what has been your favorite moment since you've been doing comedy? Your proudest moment?
Gosh, I think it's just like, can I say two? Small ones?
Yeah, absolutely.
No. Okay. Because one I think is helpful. I like telling people because I think it's helpful if people are listening. But first one was when for that festival that I was supposed to do, the agent dude who called me told me that he watched my video, loved it, whatever, but he was like, oh, you look so much like Jodie Foster. I sent her the link and she watched your stand-up and she thinks you're hilarious and she thinks you look like her when she was younger. That was like, I don't know why, stupid cool to me when that happened. Knowing Jodie Foster has seen my face and thinks I'm funny is amazing. But I don't brag about it ever.
I've never made that connection, but it's correct. You do look like Jodie Foster when she was younger.
TikTok let me know when the videos went viral on TikTok. All the comments were either Jodie Foster, Carl Gallagher from Shameless, or other dudes or whatever.
That's why you tell that. Does people really say that?
Yeah, the joke is real. People said that all the time. So that was cool. And then the other small one was at Dada when we were just doing the open mic, and there was a legit agent who works with Chappelle who came up to me and was like, I told you. And he was like, oh, I work with Chappelle, Donald Rawlings, whatever. And he gave me his card and it said agent. I even asked Brian Callen, I said, do you know who this guy is? Because I'm nervous. And he knew who he was and he was legit. And I think it's crazy that at that small of an open mic, and that think there's no real consequences or anything, and he was sitting right in the front, just sitting right there with his wife and his friend, just chilling. I think that's wild that we never know who's in the crowd, and we should always be
glad you brought that up, because that was the topic of discussion in the car this weekend. The last week, me, Sita, we went to Brittany Brave and Ellie Rodriguez's mic in Boca. And I guess there was just some agent in the crowd, and we were like, "What?" And you know, I found out right after I went up, right before Drew was going up, and it was like, "What?" And I don't know, you know, probably there for Brittany Brave, but still, it was just like you never know who's gonna be there. You just don't.
Yeah, never. And even if you don't even recognize him, like I had no idea. He looked like a regular ass dude, very
Yeah,
average. He just came up to me and like followed me out of Dada, and I was like, "Who the fuck is this?" And
yeah,
it all was amazing.
that is a good moment. So what's been your most challenging moment?
Uh, mm,
Besides looking
anxiety.
like Jodie Foster.
Yeah, challenging. No, she's beautiful. I think my anxiety making me miss that festival. I think that was the biggest slap in the face and the reality check of I need to make sure this is what I want and can do mentally. And I decided I can, but I think it was just a challenge that I needed to face, and that's why last year was so like important to make sure I traveled and got all that shit out of the way and done with and broke down that fear.
Do you think COVID had anything to do with like posing that as a new challenge for you, or?
Yeah, for sure. I think that as I've joked about previously anyway, COVID was my like dream time. And it was I thought I was so happy during COVID, but then I realized that not getting to perform that much and everything was taking a toll on me and I didn't even notice it. And now I've like redeveloped stage fright and I had a panic attack on stage and everything. Like it just kind of spiraled and went to shit after the pandemic. It sucked. I missed 2019 real bad. It was the best year.
Okay, so we kind of know a little bit about Jackie. She doesn't like being in large crowds or spaces. But who are you? Like, tell us where you're from. Do you have a day job? About your family? Any other projects you are working on?
I'm from Wellington, Florida. Uh, it's a great place. I live now, and I can't say where I live now, 'cause I don't want to pick that. But I'm from Wellington. I'm a
No,
comedian.
give out your address. It's fine.
No, I have stalkers. I can't. My day job is I'm a property manager of a multi-unit complex. I clean Airbnbs and maintain them. So it's flexible for comedy because I can work during the day and then I can go out at night and it doesn't matter because don't have to clean until 10 a.m. So I can sleep in, even though I don't really sleep in, but I can still sleep in if I wanted to. That's my day job. Who I am, gosh, I mean,
Who
like,
is Jackie Sanchez?
I'm like, I keep leveling up pothead wise, and I'm hoping that goes down at some point. But really, that's I don't have a podcast anymore. I don't really produce anything. I am gonna start doing like little Zoom courses though to make some moolah. So I'll start that. This is a great place to promote it, maybe, if you've got a lot of new comedian fans. Oh, poor BlameGirl with her cheek. I'm sorry, you're making me feel bad.
No, she's got other people there with her.
It's my fault.
Mhm.
Your friends over? I would have come over. You didn't.
All right. So what project?
That's-
I didn't know how to answer the question. I hope I answered it correctly.
No, you're
You
fine.
did, but I just want to circle
She's-
back to what projects you said you were working on.
Oh,
Her
I have
ADD
jacked
is
up.
going off.
I have jacked up this Sunday, 7 p.m. Even though the website they keep posting 8 p.m. It's not 8 p.m. Hope everyone shows up at 7 p.m.
That's right.
Yep. Otherwise,
Which where's it at? Is this at Dania or?
this is at Palm Beach. It's at the Palm Beach Improv, 7 p.m. on a Sunday. Friday we're at Swamp Grass. Geo, I hope you'll come. It'll
I'm
be
out of town.
And it's jacked up, not jacked off, you creeps. So if that's what you're going there for.
I mean, you can
It's
handle
not-
that after the show if you wanted. We do have an all-male lineup besides me. So
There you go. There
It'll
you
be
go.
They freaky, that male lineup. I'll say that. I know at least one of them.
I was gonna say they're a weird bunch of but we have Mike Herlihy, who's hilarious. I really like Mike Herlihy, so I'm excited to have him.
Nice. Okay. Do you want to throw out your socials?
Jackie Sanchez, our Instagram is at Jackie Sanchez 22, TikTok, Jackie Sanchez Comedy.
Your Zoom project.
Oh, I don't have a link. Just add me on Instagram and I'm sure I'll share it there on my story
Yeah.
or something.
TikTok?
Jackie Sanchez comedy.
All right. Are you ready to play the blame game?
I've been dying. Yeah.
Shut up, girl. You lying. I've been dying. All right. So I've gotten to know you pretty well, and I see that you know, you are very family oriented. I know you complain about your family a little bit, but you love them. You're always with them. Who's to
She's
blame?
listening. Stop.
Loves you. She loves
She's
you.
on here.
Jackie loves you. It's no big secret.
She's gonna comment soon.
They all know. Who's to blame? I don't know. I think it's important to have family. I like having people in my life who know me and who get me because I feel like a lot of people don't really understand me or think I'm some mean, quiet gal or whatever. I like having people who understand my humor, understand how I can treat them, but also I like being having them be able to rely on me because hopefully I can rely on them. Like, I blame my mom, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna go with being Latino.
I mean, yeah, that for sure. I think that's like my mom was just sending me like pictures of me as a baby today just because she felt like I needed to see and then telling me yesterday what a perfect baby I was. I was like, I know.
The whitest Latino ever.
Shut up,
And
Terry.
whiter.
Yeah,
There's
You're
whiter.
the reddest white man ever. Okay.
that's true. That's true. That comes with the Irish blood.
She blame
They
it.
hand it
It's a
out.
good one, blame girl.
Yeah.
No, but I just realized that like you're always like, oh, I'm going here with my sister or my other sister or my
I'm always
dad.
doing shit for my family. That's really what I'm doing all the time. Stuff for
There's
them.
nothing wrong
Well,
with that.
that's what family's for, to put a yoke around your neck.
Are you just flexing with that skateboard behind you, Jackie? What's that about?
No, this is because we're leaving. We're leaving in 2 weeks. So I have the room like decorated for guests because there's going to be Airbnb guests that are staying in here in my fucking cave. I'm really upset about it, but it's okay. So no, it's cute decor. It'll look like a cute skater room, right?
Yeah, I get
No, I don't ride. It's too big. No, like a regular one.
All
That's
right.
what every Airbnb customer wants, a cool skater room.
In a bunk bed.
All right, Jackie, give out your socials one more time and tell them where they can catch you.
My socials are Instagram, Jackie Sanchez 22, TikTok, Jackie Sanchez Comedy. That's I think all the socials I have. You can catch me Friday at Swampgrass. Saturday I'm doing Don't Tell, so I don't know where it is. And then Sunday jacked up at the Improv.
Don't tell you don't know where it is. Like
No, it's that Don't Tell comedy shit. No one has told me where it is.
I like that. You know, I like that because you ain't responsible for trying to get people there. Like
Yeah, right. I just said
You
come
gotta-
and I'm paying you, and I was like, oh yeah. So
you gotta
I'm
share.
doing it.
I was gonna invite people, but you didn't tell. That's the problem.
Yeah, I know it's in Stewart. That's all I know. I have to drive to Homestead and then Stewart, so I'm a little not happy about it. But I'll do it. It's okay.
Right.
Oh, I have a bridal shower, my first one. Sorry, I had to brag.
Yeah, this weekend coming up,
Yeah, Saturday.
and then you're doing Don't Tell.
Yeah, it's a busy day.
Nice. Don't have a panic attack like Terry.
That's so funny. I was just about to say that.
Motherfucker, why you gotta bring me back into this? Mine are rare.
All right.
Rare.
So nonetheless, are we ready for Terry Wayne's words for white people or what?
Do I
Yeah.
stay for that? Do I leave? Like,
No, you stay.
oh, okay. I'm gonna smoke
Okay.
through that one.
So this week we're gonna talk about old men dating young girls. No, I'm not.
Okay, I'll leave.
No, we're gonna take the old adage this week because I've been dealing with this a lot lately, both professionally and personally. Nothing gold can stay, right? The better a situation seems, the worse it's most likely going to turn out in the end. And I'm saying this specifically about the South Florida real estate market. We all know that the prices have gone up dramatically. We all know that property values are up. We've all talked about it. There's been articles. We've dealt with it on this show. And I'm just telling anybody out there listening, if you own property right now in South Florida, Get the fuck out right now. And it's just another bubble, just like we had in 2008. And it's going to pop. And you're going to be stuck where you are. And that's a best case scenario. All these prices are tremendously high. I see them all the time in my work. It's crazy. A 3-bedroom, 2-bath standard single family home in Boca Raton shouldn't be $1.2 million, but it is right now. And I'm telling you, it's coming. I'm just putting it out there for the internet to record for future historians. I'm just saying there's a reason why I'm getting the fuck out of the state right now, because nothing gold can stay. And I know you think it's just going to plateau or it's the prices will just keep going up, and it just can't happen that way. So be careful with your money. It is, your whole financial life. Try not to be too optimistic all the time. Things are not going to stay this way. I feel bad about it. I don't want to leave South Florida. I hate moving. I hate change, but it is what it is. And just fucking protect your neck, as Wu-Tang would say, because it's about to get pretty fucking gnarly out there. If you ask me, it's just my opinion. It's gonna get pretty fucking gnarly. So, if you're on a lease and you're renting, fucking re-up that shit right now, where you can get that price locked in. And if you got a property that you own right now, my advice would be to sell that as quickly as possible before this market collapses.
When are the rents going back down is my question.
They're going to go back down once the bubble pops, because then there's going to be a lot more. It's supply and demand, basically.
Yeah, I need that.
A lot of people own these properties. The apartment right next to mine has been vacant for almost 3 years. Somebody just moved into it.
Oh, wow.
Because somebody was holding on to this as an investment. But once these property values start to decline and start to go down, people try to sell as best they can. But they'll try to sell, but nobody's going to want to buy them at those prices as everything's keep dropping. So it's going to be a real shit show, to be honest. And if you're renting, good for you, because you're not going to have to face any of this shit, and your rent will probably come down. And if it doesn't, leave and go somewhere else, because it'll be cheaper somewhere else.
I hope that it don't come to that, because I love South Florida, but I mean,
I keep going back to that old adage.
If I move, I have to move back to Austin, where my family's at, and
I'll come with you. It's fine.
It's just as expensive. It's the only problem.
We can afford it together.
And I'm just saying, go back to that old, nothing gold can stay.
All right.
You just can't.
Guys,
doesn't last forever.
Thanks for putting up with us this week. Terry, you got anything coming up?
Yeah, I'll be doing a show Friday night in New Orleans. Just go to
You go, boy.
Not that anybody in New Orleans is fucking watching this, so I don't even know what I'm saying.
I might try to send my girl out. Yo, I'm gonna be at Dania on Wednesday, and I actually need people to help me get it to go on stage. Just say my name, BlameGirl or Giovanni. At
Dania what?
Girl.
The Dania Improv.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. So, and then if I get booked in Austin, I'm still working on it. I'll let you guys know you're following me. So anyway, until next week, thank you, everyone. Thank you, John. He says, great show all. Thank you for tuning in. Until
Thanks,
next
John
week.
Hine.
Hold on, Jackie. Don't get off yet.